Hello, welcome to Mental Health. I'm Robbie Stevenson, and today is quite a day. I'm honored to be doing this interview. I really am. Today we have Anvil. Anvil is a Canadian heavy metal band that formed in 1978, so like 42 years ago. Wow. They've inspired 80s metal bands, including thrash metal's Big Four, Megadeth, you know, Metallica, Slayer, and Anthrax. Anvil has released 18 albums in the last 40 years. No band has grinded as long and as hard as Anvil. I'm honored to bring you Lips from Anvil.
Hello, everybody. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm making it through the COVID days.
Good, because it's your age group that would get hurt from it, right? Oh, burn.
Well, not if you're locked up inside, that's for sure. It's
Yeah. We're good. We're good. Yeah, I'm really happy to be doing this interview. I'm excited. I'll just get straight to one of the questions, I guess. Bill Burr, famous comedian, mentioned Anvil on the Joe Rogan podcast last time he was on there about 3 months ago, when he was talking about record labels and how they basically are out to steal as much money as possible. And he talked about the documentary from 2008, 12 years ago, Anvil, the story of Anvil. And he said how he basically quoted you, and you're talking about how it's better to own 100% of your stuff and make and sell like 20,000 albums than sell 20 million and have them own your stuff, and you make more money and stuff. But I probably said and stuff too much, but here we go. Can you comment on that at all?
Well, all that's pretty true. You know, he's not wrong. And that's how the business works. It's almost like it's like loan sharks. You know, it is. It's like loan sharking with heavy duty betting. It's kind of mixed the two. You know what I'm saying? You go and borrow money from a loan shark to go make a bet in Las Vegas. That's what the music business is like. You know,
what? I'm shocked.
Are you gonna win? You know, it's interesting, and it's not the band that is the strongest and the toughest and the meanest and that lasts. It's actually the guys that can adapt and stay along with whatever they're doing and maintain it in some way or another. I think that's what it really comes down to. Survive, right?
Cool. I'm not really surprised that it's basically like the mob. It's not like they don't get into legal transactions also, you know, so.
Well, there's always that too. It tries to slow you down, but generally it does. You know, how do you get out? You can't get out. There is no legal transaction. You signed your rights away. If you did something like that, you signed your rights away. How are you going to get it back? Not without lots of money.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only way that you're going to get it back. And then that lots of money has to equate into, is it worth paying all that money? Am I ever going to live to see the money come back?
Yeah. Then they nickel and dime you for all the music videos and stuff you want and things like that.
Yeah, I mean it's quite interesting ultimately the way that it worked, and it's in a certain sense when they're taking all the risk, you can understand it from that perspective and what they're trying to run and who the bureaucracy and making a band big and what that cost. Okay, you can certainly understand why the artist at the end of the day is the last guy standing in line with his hand out. It's just ultimately the way that it works. You know, everything has a reason for being the way it was or the way it is. You know, a record company gives a band, let's say, $10,000 for their music. Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What it's going to cost that record company to get them known if they're nobody. You
Yeah.
think about all the advertising and all the man hours that it takes to arrange that. And I mean, it's a whole entire system that we're talking about that has to get paid in order to get something in line. Like promotion costs huge amounts of money, far beyond that first $10,000 that they gave the band for their money for their work. Okay, so then what ends up happening is it gets all redlined against your royalties, whatever they spend.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So you ultimately are paying for it all.
Yeah.
in the long run. So how are you going to make your money? Well, it's all recoupable. Everything that they're doing is all recoupable against your red line, against your name, and it could take centuries to get it paid back, especially if they're going. And the way that they pay it back is, okay, they're giving you a royalty rate of, let's say, $1 per sale, per record, right?
Yeah.
That's what the band gets, is $1, okay, out of a sale at the most.
And that's the
So
album
out of that dollar, you've got to pay back the thousands of dollars that are owed against your name.
Wow. Wow.
So that if you understand how that means, what that ultimately means, anything that's coming to you is long gone.
Yeah, that's.
Meanwhile, they could be selling hundreds of thousands of records, and they're only paying they're not paying anything because you owe hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's
right?
insane. All right.
On their bill to having made you big. So in order to pay it back, you've got to sell hundreds of thousands of copies of the album.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they're making $19 on every copy at the same time, but only paying it back at $1 every sale. That's the equation.
Okay.
Is that the exact numbers? No, but ultimately that's how it all works. That's the way it works.
Well, thank you for straightening that out for us there, Lips. Remember in the documentary when you were working at that call center? Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at a call center for a bit myself. It was only like a month or so, but I'd say my favorite part about it was when you'd get the answering machine. Not only because you didn't have to actually talk to anyone, but because sometimes the answering machine would read back the number to you, and if it had 2 consecutive zeros in it, it was always hilarious because it would be like 5, 4, 2, 3, 0, 0, 5. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I really enjoyed that documentary. That's what got me to learn more about Anvil than anything else. I was born in '86, so yeah. But
I mean, ultimately, what I'm telling you is a basic fundamental structure of how the business works. That's how all the business works. And then the band has to pay back whatever that was spent on advertising, whatever the red line is for the label before the label starts paying you anything beyond your first initial $10,000 or whatever you got, right?
yeah.
So you have to, in order to pay back that $10,000, you have to basically fundamentally sell 10,000 copies of your CD, right?
Yeah, it's like basically putting on the ball and chain and then trying to run
But
a
if
marathon.
you think about the price and the cost of what 10,000 CDs is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if even at $10 a piece, right? At $10 a piece,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money, right?
It is. Yeah. Since the documentary came out,
They get paid back what $900,000 on you're on the 10 that you owe,
Yeah.
something like that. It's like something crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, but that's the way it works because they take the risks.
Yeah. Cool. So like since the documentary came out in 2008, you guys have been doing a lot better, right? Like you've released some pretty good albums, and you're doing big festivals and everything like that. Do you want to tell us a bit about your reaction to everyone enjoying the documentary?
Well, I mean that just put us to work all over the world. It
Yeah.
hasn't. I haven't worked a regular job in 13 years, so
That's awesome. That's what I wanted to hear, Lips. That's what I
yeah.
wanted to
You know,
hear.
I'm one of the one percenters, of all musicians that makes enough money from my music to make a living.
Good. Yeah, I'm so happy about that.
The rest of this world is all about going to get money anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. Like, okay. So I was gonna ask, is grinding a dream better than not having one at all? I mean, you've always worked towards the band and your whole life and did everything you had to do to keep it going. Like I mean it. Like no one's grinded harder than you. What do you think it's like when for people who don't have dreams at all?
I don't know. I don't know. I've never been in that position, so I don't. I can't relate.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly,
like
right?
it's like it's like someone asked if it's like someone who doesn't have vision asks somebody who can see what's it like to see.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You kind of take it for granted, and you go, well, I never really thought about it in that way. But the truth is, it is that way.
yeah,
It's just natural. What I do and what I become and where it all started at such a young age. I don't know how to describe life ambition and not even a matter of self-recognition. You know, self-recognition, immediate self-recognition. This is what I want to do, and this is who I am. That's it. You know, it pretty much came to me at 10 years old. So what can I say?
that's
I
awesome.
know that sounds crazy, but it is really true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how about with the implosion of like record labels and that because of the internet and everyone downloading music and stuff? What do you think about that? Like, do you think it's just because like no one really gave you the shot when that kind of system was in play, and now that it's all based on internet, like you've gotten
Yeah,
really big.
isn't that fascinating that you actually recognize the difference? Like, because if I had lived had that movie happened 10 years or even 15 years earlier, then I would have seen the financial rewards of what that really ultimately meant. That's right,
Yeah,
and you don't, but you do in other ways because I do something that everybody, which ultimately is the best out of everything. My payback came back in live performances,
yeah,
endless, endless live performances anywhere, everywhere in the world, which is all I ever wanted. That's all you ever want. You want somewhere to play tomorrow night.
yeah,
That's what musicians do. Is you want somewhere to play tomorrow night and the night after and the night after, and you want to really ultimately be on tours that are virtually never ending if you can be on that, if you can do that. Because that's what you are, that's what you do, and that's what you live for, right? I mean, that's how I kind of look at it. And the people that, for me, I think ultimately because it came late in life, it might be considered, well, that's not very fair. And I go, you know what? Yes, it is. I'll take that and have it when I'm 20, when I don't actually really respect it or or even cherish what I got. I take it for granted because that's human nature. But when you have to work really, really twice as hard your whole life to get to that that sort of successful moment, you're happy as fuck. And that's basically where I got to, right?
Oh, that's great. I'm just so pleased and happy for you, Lips. It's really cool, and I'm just happy to be doing this interview. Um, yeah. Um, so, are you doing any music videos or anything like that now that for like your new album or anything like that?
Well, there is.
Yeah.
They're on YouTube. You can find them for
Okay.
Nabbed in Nebraska and Legal at Last. There's 2 videos from the newest album.
Okay. Cool. I should have just researched that rather than just asked you now.
Yeah, we did a really interesting one. We went through Oregon and Colorado, and then we drove into Nebraska, and we weren't really thinking very much. And the next thing you know, we see a sign that says "Drug Dogs on Duty," and we went and exited off before we saw the cop cars.
Yeah.
So as we exited off, of course it was really hot, so I rolled down the window, and the pot that I had taken out to throw it away or put down my pants because I wear a pouch, I had to move it. Anyway, it ended up blowing out the window, and the police saw it.
Oh, wow.
So we got busted in Nebraska, and it was not like it was more like a speeding infraction.
Okay.
Okay, it's a misdemeanor, and it's not you don't get a criminal record, but don't get caught there again because it's going to be more serious. That's basically fundamentally it's give me your money and don't come back here and do that again.
Okay.
Learn a lesson.
That's a good slap
Or
on the wrist.
you're going to be given a bigger ticket, and maybe you're going to have to appear and come down here. So you don't want to do that because I'm Canadian, right?
Yeah. Well, so
And what happened was I had to call the magistrate. With your and ascertain whether you've been given a waiver on the trial. Because what you do is you got to go you plead guilty, and then you call the magistrate about 2 weeks later, and then they decide whether they want to put you on trial or not.
Okay.
So they go, all considering, all done, thank you for your money, don't come back now.
Oh, that's great. I got pinched when I was in my this was like maybe 7 years ago. I was driving my 82 Monte Carlo with the airbag suspension kit and 100-spoke rims like this, you know? So like I might as well just had the drugs stapled to my forehead.
Oh no.
I was like fresh out of psychosis, like no cognitive abilities. I was just driving my car, and yeah, it wasn't the smartest thing I've done, but these things happen. Yeah.
Anyway, there's a video for this story called "Nabbed in Nebraska," and it's a cartoon.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting. I don't know that. I don't know how metal it is, but it's, interesting enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm working with Ed the Sock. You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's starting a new music video channel, just probably on the internet, and it's really in its infant stages right now. But I'm his heavy metal VJ, so that's pretty cool. I get to pick the music videos and do all the throws and stuff. So yeah, I'll talk to you about that after we're done recording here, and I'll try to get them on there for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, since I got clean and everything, life has been nothing but awesome opportunities, and I'm just really happy to be loving life like I am now. Yeah. I don't know, like I know this isn't about me right now. It's about you because I'm interviewing you. But I was addicted to lots of hard drugs, and I was doing drugs in bathrooms every day, and I'm doing really well now. So yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Not a good thing.
No, no, it's not. It's not a good thing.
But you're not that old, are you?
I'll be 34 in November, so
No, you stopped in time before you really did damage. So
yeah. Well, that's not completely true, but
you haven't completely stopped.
yeah. Well, no, I'm done. I'm absent off all drugs right now. But it's when you snort corrosive chemicals, it kind of leaves a big hole in your head. So I've got one of those. If I got punched really hard in the face, my face would just collapse in on the fist.
Oh, oh.
Pretty nasty, but yeah. But all right. I think that's been pretty close to our time. Yeah. Is there anything you want to plug or and promote before we say goodbye here, Lips?
No, not really. It's nothing really going on for a little bit. We've been writing another album, and that will be out in 2022. So whatever.
Cool.
Might as well be prepared now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly
Number
what we're
19.
doing. Yeah, it'll be 19.
That's...
I'm thinking about calling it Anvil 19.
Oh, that'd be great. That's a great name. Great name. Oh, great. Well, thank you very much, Lips, for being on Mental Health. I'm really happy to have you here. This was words can't pronounce. It was awesome.
Okay, all good, man. All right, have a good day.
I forgot to ask a question, and you guys missed out. I'm sorry. I wasn't recording at the time. I remembered to do it right after. And yeah, you missed out on this question. The question was, have you ever thought about doubling down on the vibrators? You know, like have Rob start drumming with vibrators, or like just setting the vibrator on the snare drum while Rob is doing a drum solo. So it's just there like, and you guys missed it. I'm sorry. I'll try not to let it happen again. You missed out.